Tato movie guy. Okay.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Maybe welcome for the very first time, and my Sundance Film Festival coverage continues with probably my most anticipated of the lot, and that is Sono's new film, Prisoners of the Ghostland. Sono has featured heavily on this channel over the course of the last 12 months during our streams on Talking Movies. We talk about the guy all the time because we love his cinema. Why Don't You Play in Hell? Love Exposure, Anti-Porno, Strange Circus. I could go on and on and on because he has made so many movies. But this is his first English language film, and the inclusion of one Nicolas Cage has further intensified the hype behind this film. And to be honest, the reviews were very good before I saw this, so I was expecting something quite special. So let's discuss. Prisoners of the Ghostland is set in a treacherous frontier city called Samurai Town. A ruthless bank robber is sprung from jail by a wealthy warlord called the Governor, whose adopted granddaughter Bernice has gone missing. The Governor offers the prisoner his freedom in exchange for retrieving the runaway. Strapped into a leather suit that will self-destruct within 5 days, the bandit sets off on a journey to find the young woman and his own path to redemption. Right, this was an interesting hybrid of the director's oeuvre with Western influence. And I think this is kind of sets the tone for the film from the beginning, because we enter the film with a bank robbery. The bank robbery is very clean, it's very pristine, it's very in the aesthetic of Sono. And this kind of really establishes this redemptive story from the very beginning. And this is the thing I love about Sono films, is while they are highly entertaining most of the time, there is a deep metaphorical kind of element to it. And time and redemption are these two things that continuously flicker around the narrative. Sometimes it disappears completely, which is kind of strange for Sono, but at the same time, this is not written by him. But he includes these kind of metaphorical allegories into the film, and that is what makes Sono so special. I think recently with Red Post and Escher Street, we had something so stripped back from him. I was expecting something of a high intensity level of his caliber. Because if you don't know Sono films, they are graphic as hell. They do not shy away from the taboos of the world. And I think Prisoners of the Ghostland is a very well formulaic film created for a Western audience, and in a way that kind of left me slightly disappointed in a very good way, because I wanted full out gore and craziness, and what I got was a very interesting narrative that was very entertaining. And I will tell you, I didn't hate this film once, but I just wanted to share like that kind of initial idea. This is a post-apocalyptic spaghetti western samurai film. It's all meshed into one, and I love these kind of homages to the cinema that Sono loves. He loves spaghetti westerns, and he actually wanted to film this film in Mexico originally, but he had a heart attack and then moved back to Japan so they could finish the film and actually make it happen. So what I really liked of this is it's just a mesh of Japanese culture, English culture, and it just works. There's a very simple narrative here. It's nothing complex. We get to understand this kind of setting of what is going on. The world building has time to breathe, and I love the kind of set design and the whole world that has been created. It just merges around. It has very interesting characters, and even characters that don't have much to say. They're very prominent in their costume design, in just the things that they have to say, and it continuously just goes through this interesting barrage of characters. And again, this is something that Sono is known for. Everyone gets like their time to shine in his films, and this is something that we got to see prominently in Prisoners of the Ghostland, just as we did with Red Post and Escher Street last year. And it isn't exactly a all-out barrage of gore, but the gore when it turns up is fantastic. And I think that's the good thing about Sono's pacing, is that he does choose his times well when these things happen. There is one scene in particular that I thought was fantastic, and this included Tak Sakaguchi, who is a phenomenal action star in Japan, and to see him in this non-speaking role, it added this kind of intensity to his character. It's very similar to kind of like what Hugo Stiglitz is in Inglourious Basterds. He's just the badass that doesn't say anything. And there's one scene with one song that I fucking loved. I thought it was poetry in motion. It was one of the best scenes in the film. And going from this, we can talk about Nicolas Cage, right? Nicolas Cage was very underutilized at times. But when he has his moments, the usual stares, the usual over-the-top line delivery, it becomes the Nick Cage film that you expect. It starts with a burst of energy. But again, this is not exactly about him. This is about the people around him and the things that they are doing to each other. And he's just kind of the talisman that takes you through this journey, but doesn't necessarily have the full-blown package. And this kind of element of Cage builds this interesting fight at the back end where Cage versus Tack is happening, and two of these kind of actors that are very well suited in these types of films. It was a fight that I quite enjoyed, but I think it's kind of funny when you see that Cage's stunt double is doing most of the work. But it was just one of these fights that I wanted to see more of, and I would have loved to see how it kind of developed. And then going to talk about Sophia Boutella, I don't feel like she added much to it. She has a presence, but I never really thought of her to be anything as of a vast importance. She was just this thing that she needed. She was just the thing that was kind of the catalyst for the whole film. And then Bill Moseley as the governor, I will never forget the way he just says Yasujiro all the time. I thought it was hilarious. There's a lot of great one-liners in this film. It's a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it very much. I just think that Sono just had to make a film that was acceptable within Western culture, possibly. And maybe if he gets to make the sequel that he's planning on, we will definitely get the unhinged version of it. And I would love to see that. But Prisoners of the Ghostland is well worth a watch. And for any Sono fan, I will understand some will complain, and that's totally fine. But if this is your entry point into the world of Sion Sono, please make sure that you watch more and make sure it's not the last Sono film that you watch. Right then, Prisoners of the Ghostland. If you have seen it and been lucky enough to watch it at Sundance, please let me know what you thought of it at the comment section below. If not, please tell me what your favourite Sion Sono film is that is not Love Exposure, because obviously that is his masterpiece. I will be continuing the Sundance Film Festival reviews over the next couple of days and probably go into next week, so stay tuned for them. There's a lot of great films that I want to talk about with you guys, and keep supporting the channel if you can. Like, share, subscribe, do as you please, and I hope you're all doing well and taking care of yourselves. So as we normally say on this channel, Diolch, danke, obrigado, merci beaucoup, arigato, dankeschön, bitteschön, all the shuns, and obviously never change. And all I'll say now is testicles. Goodbye.